I will call the meeting to order of meeting of the PR subcommittee. I'll read the checklist,
Oh,
if
thanks.
that's okay, as the first order of business.
Thank you.
Okay. As chair of the Sanborn Regional School Board's Public Relations Subcommittee, or de facto chair at the moment, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12, pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we are A, providing public access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. We are utilizing Zoom for this electronic meeting. All members of the Sanborn Regional School Board's Public Relations Subcommittee have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through this platform, and the public has access to contemporaneously listen and, if necessary, participate in this meeting through dialing the following phone number: 1-646-558-8656, meeting ID 919-0364-1450, or by clicking on the following website address, which is a youtube.com channel. I'm not going to read the link because it's got a lot of letters and characters in it, but it can be found on the district's website. B, providing public notice of the necessary information for accessing the meeting. We previously gave notice to the public of the necessary information for accessing the meeting, including how to access the meeting using Zoom or telephonically. Instructions have also been provided on the website of the Sanborn Regional School District at www.siu17.net. C, providing a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there are problems with access. If anybody has a problem, please call 978-482-7394 or email at helpdesk@siu17.net. D, adjourning the meeting if the public is unable to access the meeting. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes that are taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. Let's start the meeting by taking a roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under the Right to Know law. I'll start. Tammy Mahoney. I'm at home. In my kitchen, there's no one around me at the moment, but there are family members in my house. Larry?
I'm in my office, in my home, and there is nobody here but me.
Pam?
Yeah, Pam Brown, and I'm at home by myself
With the birdies.
with the birds downstairs.
Yeah, the well-behaved birds, not
No.
like my cat.
Oh, I'm here. Tom Ambrose,
yeah.
superintendent. I'm out in the backyard. No one's around.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to
The
nominate.
first order of business. Okay.
I would like to nominate Tammy Mahoney to continue as chair of public relations.
Thanks a lot.
I'd kind of like to throw something in here. I'd like to nominate myself as the chair. This is my last year, and I'd like to have a chair.
All right.
Want to chair the committee, Larry?
Sure.
Okay, I'll second that. It's okay by me.
I'll third that.
Okay. We need a roll call vote. So Tammy Mahoney, aye. Larry?
Aye.
Pam?
And I vote yes for Larry.
Okay.
Wasn't sure if you were on.
Okay,
Facebook,
cool.
Larry.
Yeah, I just kind of like to do it for my last one. This is one of those.
I'm not on Facebook myself, but for specific reasons. So yeah.
So.
Well, I am, so I'll be more than happy to help out.
I would like Tammy to continue doing Facebook. I think everybody in town looks forward to that. Over here in my area that I have been talking to, everybody knows Tammy and her Facebook wreath. I would love to have you continue
Okay.
doing that. I'll just take care of the behind.
Okay.
I'm doing the thumbs up.
Sure. I'm happy to take, I usually post the agenda. I usually post the meeting video, other pertinent information
If you would do
as
that, I would
it comes
appreciate
up.
it.
Sure.
I think
I'm happy to do that. Tom takes the lead on that really. But yeah, I'm happy to post, the agenda. Sometimes Dawn will do that.
Yep.
So sure.
I think
no
it's
problem.
nice.
Okay.
I think that it's nice that anything that you guys, if this group, whatever we can do to send united communication from the board to the community, that will be really good moving forward. Because I've done a lot of the heavy lifting around letters and things, but I don't think it's a bad idea for letters to come out from the board. Right? Saying, so like this agenda item that I asked to talk about tonight with the Seacoast Learning Collaborative, I think it'd be great if this group drafted a letter about the SLC and had the board approve that and then put that out, because I think it's nice for the community to hear from the board. What I noticed this last few weeks is that when I started sending out letters that were signed by every administrator, I got a lot of really positive feedback about that. Like, hey, Tom, it really looks like you're a team when you do that. So I wanted you to know that if we can send even if it's just 3 or 4 letters this year. So I was going to offer the suggestion of having 4 letters from the board this year. Just, it doesn't have to be a lot, but once every couple of months or whatever, just giving an update about whatever's going on from the board. I thought that'd be a nice thing to do. And I'm happy to work and draft and collaborate with you, but I just thought it would be nice for the people to see the whole board sign a letter.
Sounds good.
I'm putting my shades back on. I'm not playing it cool, but it's a little sunny out here in Saco. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Pretty sunny.
so. You want to sit there? Does everybody saw the email that, or the message that Tom sent out?
I haven't read it yet myself. I just noticed it.
Would you like to have some good news for a change for us?
Be great.
Tom, why don't you go ahead and pass it on?
Oh, sure. So the middle school moved this week, and Mr. Chinberg signed the purchase and sale for the Sanborn Seminary, and the Seacoast Learning Collaborative has signed an agreement to rent the middle school. And we have had some great conversations with students, Mr. Stack and I, around graduation, and they asked to just do a few simple modifications that made it so that more kids could see each other graduate by changing the flow of traffic on the campus. It was really, really great. The kids did a great job, and we had almost 4 hours of meetings between the kids, myself, and Mr. Stack, putting ideas back and forth and talking about pros and cons. And the students are actually drafting a letter with Mr. Stack that will include that we've had that process to send to the community. And the students asked for that letter to say that we're all working together. So that's wonderful. Brian did a great job, and the kids were really good about advocating about what they wanted. And they also, the part I was most impressed about was that when I explained to the kids the rationale for why they couldn't have some things, they really respected that. Great kids.
Good.
Okay. Any ideas?
Great. That's wonderful.
Any ideas what you would like us to do? Pam, you're a good letter writer. I've read a lot of your stuff.
He goes on and on.
Delegate
Oh my
by
God.
authority.
Never
I've
stops.
already given Tammy a job. How about if I ask you to write a letter, maybe every 3 months or every 2 months or something,
Sure.
and just, let everybody know what's going on. And this is from the PR committee, and
Right.
just put it out.
Send it to you, read it over, tweak it.
I like to have all of us read it over, and when it sends out, you send it out from the whole committee.
Okay,
How's that
great.
sound? You
Sounds
sign
good.
it, and we'll set the say committee.
Larry, could we have Pam draft it, the committee review it, and then the board approve it? Just so that the board, it's a letter from the whole board.
That'd be even better.
I'd love to see like the list of people on the bottom list every board member, because one thing that I thought would be nice to work on this year is that our board really does almost always vote unanimously.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, when you look at our voting history, there've only been a couple of split votes in 3 years. And I think that that's important for everyone in the community to know that we're united. Even if we have a split vote, we still get along. Like I was telling my wife that I watched a school board meeting the other night, and the difference between the functionality of our board and what I observed on this other school board meeting is amazing, and I want to celebrate that.
I was talking to a Exeter school board member, and the comment that was made to me is, we do not have a school board like theirs at all. We work together, and I guess they come in from all different directions. That's great.
Well, it leaves the superintendent herding cats.
Yeah.
Or as Annie Collier likes to say, butterflies with that little net from a fish tank, and you're running around trying to put them in a. So that brings us to the other item. We have goals. So would one goal be to have a quarterly letter from the board?
Yes, I think that's a good one. How about you?
I'm just trying to put it into the terms that would go in the document. Tammy and Pam, do you agree with that?
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay.
Just for full disclosure, my 11-year-old is listening to this meeting now. He came out here to see what I'm up to. He said hello.
A
That's cool.
budding
Hello.
administrator.
Yeah, he's a 6th grader. He's going into 7th.
Anybody else? This is
Yeah, what other?
goals?
So Larry, one other goal that we've had as a working goal is to improve the annual report with regard to data and communicating what our goals are as a district. So I think that we could marry those things into some of those letters, but I also think that another goal of the PR committee is that when I get into a conundrum and I want to make sure that I'm given the right message, I'll often ask members of this committee. So I think one thing that we should always be a standing goal for this committee is to review the documentation that's going to go into the annual report. Tammy, I assume that should just always be an annual goal for this group, because that's important information.
Right.
And that's all I
Yeah.
really had.
Absolutely.
I agree with that too. Matter of fact, I've already written it down.
Great. That's all I had.
Anybody else? Great ideas.
I do like the idea of a united presentation of progress being made. Just watching the US Congress right now really alarms me, because they never have anything good to say about the other parties. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Even when we disagree, we acknowledge the work, the effort, the reasoning of someone you might disagree with. But the nastiness I see going on is just amazing. I'm stunned,
It's sending the wrong message
point.
to everybody.
I think a letter would be nice
I agree with you, Pam.
every few months.
I definitely do.
All right.
Anything else? We've
Well-
got goals already. We've got quarterly letter, improve the annual report, public relations committee review letters going out, and also to the school board.
So the quarterly letter should be published in the Carriagetown News.
I
as
think
well.
it should be in the Carriagetown and also on Facebook.
And on the
Okay.
Eagle Tribune too.
I'm not gonna do Facebook, but
No, I don't either. So
Tammy and I can do that.
To put that on, yeah. That's
Yep.
no problem.
Yep. And the Eagle Tribune too has been really helpful.
Oh, okay, sure.
good. The more we can get out, the better off we're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be.
a good suggestion.
Like I think it'd be great if we had a budget letter,
Yeah,
right? If we had a letter for the opening of school from the school board to welcome everyone back. And well, I'm not sure about this year, but that's another issue. We can talk about that later. But welcoming everyone back to school and we'll figure out the themes of the other ones, but you know, for example, like right now, I've got on the agenda for tonight a quick conversation about the Seacoast Learning Collaborative. And I had intended to draft something up for you to review, but with the graduation thing today, I couldn't get to it. I'm really sorry, but it's okay. I mean, there's not, I've been monitoring Facebook and, Mr. Chairman, is it okay to switch topics now? I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Okay. Sorry, I do that. Y'all know that. No, I think that the gist of the whole thing is that you know, we really need to just have a clear message about, you know, what's going on with the Seacoast Learning Collaborative. So I thought that what I would do is their document that explains who they are and what they do is really confusing. I mean, Jamie Fitzpatrick sent me a little email kind of like, hey, you know, that's not going to work to explain to anyone what this is. And I said, no, I agree with you. So what I thought I would do is over the next few days, I will work with the Seacoast Learning Collaborative and develop a brief narrative about who they are and what they're doing. But I did have a few questions for you. I thought it would be helpful to put in the amount of money that they're some kind of talking points about the lease. So the amount of money that they're paying annually. The big ones that I thought of were the that they're paying for half of a resource officer for the Newton campus, which is wonderful because that person will be housed at the memorial school and available to grades 4, 5, and 6, and will be able to do some programming for those kids and help out at the SLC. They are going to work collaboratively with the board to try to bring a very cool ropes course to the woods off the field. Now, granted, there's some work to do with that, so that needs to be finessed in terms of the message because that has to be board approved, and they would cover the insurance and all those questions that come up with that. But I've talked to them about that at length, and they've already had a ropes course, so they know how to manage it. But that would be a really positive thing if we can partner with them and utilize that facility for our kids and staff. And then the other thing is that they're paying rent and they're basically maintaining the majority of the building during the time that they're there. I mean, unless there's some massive impending structural problem that we don't know about, they're pretty much taking care of things. So we you know, there are a lot of pros for the district: the rent, the potential for the ropes course, the SRO, and the maintenance and maintaining of the building, primarily at their cost, would be the big four things that I would illustrate in my letter. So do you all feel like those are the big talking points? Did I miss anything?
I think that's pretty much it. Tammy, what do you think?
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
I don't have anything else.
I was wondering if we should mention how many districts in general are served by this organization.
That would be a good one.
I know people are concerned about, you know, the resource officer and issues surrounding having one. I just want to make sure people understand that this particular organization is used by many districts, including our own. I mean, generally speaking, we all have students that need their services in a positive way. I don't know if people appreciate that. So anyway.
I'd be happy to share the districts that they serve and the capacity that they serve in. And it's a day program where kids come from 7:15 to 3:15. So Pam, what I was thinking is I would draft up kind of like I always like to think of Dr. Ross Green when I write these letters. He always says a single sheet of paper.
Right.
Anything more than that, and people get lost. So I'll draw up a blurb or a 1 or 2 paragraph document, and then I'll send it to you guys for feedback. Okay.
Okay.
And then
it's just that because of confidentiality, we can't divulge any specifics. But a lot of times these organizations are so busy serving students, they don't have time to brag about what they actually do.
I agree with you, Pam.
Yeah, I think it'd be great.
At the end of the day, they're exhausted. So
yeah, a lot of people don't realize it's a K-12 program.
Right. Yeah.
They have little ones and older ones, and they do a lot of really creative programming. So I would be happy to celebrate some of those things for them, and I'll kind of help generate a little press release for the SLC.
That would be nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I guess I do have, what I would wonder if I was a community member is what sort of access the district is still going to have to the middle school facilities,
Oh,
especially
great.
athletic, because
Mhm.
that's always a sticking point. And I think
Yeah.
we're still, that gym I think is still in use, I believe, right, for basketball, or
correct,
well,
yeah.
not right now, but
Well, we got great news on
and the
that
field.
front.
Are we still going to use the soccer field still?
Yes, and thank you for bringing
Or
that up. I'll be
soccer
sure
slash
when,
field hockey, I guess.
yep, all the fields in the gym will be available every day from 3:15 on. And I don't even know that they'll be using the fields at 2:45. So we're going to work with Vicky brought it up that really they need the fields around 2:30, 2:45. And we had to write it in the lease for their day program, but I'm sure if I talk to them, we can work it out to get the kids over there. We just want to make sure that the bus runs don't conflict with the SLC, when the kids are getting dropped off. But the gym and the fields will still be available to us after school hours, and I will definitely put that in there. Great point. Thanks. Vicky and I have talked a lot these last 2 weeks. They will use the fields during the day, but they're only using the field to the right. If you look at the middle school building, the right-hand side has a field, and there's woods behind there. That's where the ropes course will go, is out in the woods back there.
Yeah.
And excuse me, I did talk to them at length about safety and how they have a system for shoring up the ropes course so that you can't get on it after hours, and all of that would come to the board for board approval. So I'll make sure that it's clear in the letter that any kind of ropes course is pending board approval, and that's what is in the lease. We could just videotape this meeting and share that. I think Gordon just
should be videotaping it.
Yeah, he is.
We are.
He is. Yeah, that's one positive of
typically he would. Yeah.
It's easy.
Does anybody else have anything else?
I was just thinking about the newsletters. One of them could be about accreditation.
Yep.
Yeah,
What it is, what we're doing to prepare.
Great idea, Pam.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
Be a good idea when we choose a math program to have one about math programming and changing of the grading system.
Well, there's our 4
Software.
already.
There's another one, right?
Yeah.
And when we have a new student rep on the board, perhaps we could have one about student life. In other words, extracurricular activities, what's going on, and have that student help us.
Sounds great.
I think that's a great idea. I like that.
Oh, and that reminds me, Tammy, I meant to tell you, Erin will be joining our board meetings again. She just didn't know who to reach out to.
Oh, okay.
I wish it had occurred to me sooner.
Yeah, me
to
too.
Ask,
I know.
About that, actually.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that. She was fine. She knows that it's been crazy, and she was great. She's happy to come again.
Good.
Thank you for serving, Larry.
We should be having we should have a new rep. Actually, there should be a changing of the guard there.
Right.
Changing of the guard.
They should elect a new rep. It's the time of year for them to do that. So, do you know if they have?
No, I don't know yet. I haven't. I'm sure that in the mix of everything going on that hasn't bubbled to the top, but I'll let Mr. Stack know.
Typically, they would elect a new rep. They would have usually, I think, by now, and the new rep would be introduced by the current rep and begin attend the last meeting or two. Well, because the rep is going to graduate before our last board meeting of the year. So
I just sent Mr. Stack a note, and I'm sure he'll take care of it. I'm sure he might have already done it. I just haven't talked to him yet about it. I asked him to have the new board rep to us by the first meeting in June, because at that first meeting, Aaron will be done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
We've had some awesome school board reps. We're really lucky.
Yes, we have.
All right. Well, if you guys are good, it is Mrs. Ambrose's birthday, and she's in there baking a cake with the boys, and it is not going great.
She's baking her own cake.
Well, I've been in meetings all day. I know I feel horrible. I did make the store run and do things, but it just got to the point where the day slipped away, and I'm going to get takeout dinner and take care of the homestead right now.
You go.
Anybody else have anything? If not, let's adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, everyone.